Hey guys, and welcome back to Every Single Scratch Block Part 5. This is the final episode. Today we're looking at variables, lists, and custom blocks. Let's get right into this. First off, we have the variables area. So, to make a variable, you just click the button and you'll get a little bubble right here that pops up to just list all of your variables. There's a check mark right to the side, and this will make a little display here. Right click on it, and then you can change it. You can hide it, or you can change how it's displayed. A normal readout is how it is now. You make a large readout, it only displays the number. And if you select slider, you can make it into a slider. And when it's a slider, if you right click on it, you can change the slider range to a minimal value and a maximum value. If one of these values is a decimal, then the slider will incorporate decimals as well. Then there's the set variable to something. So here you can simply set it to 1. You can also rename the variable from here or delete the variable from one of these blocks, which you can do just by right clicking on the little bubble. You can just rename it or delete it. Change my variable, the same in here. You can select a variable or rename or delete the variable. In this case, it changes the variable by the amount. If this is a negative number, it subtracts it. If it's a positive number, it adds this number to it. Show variable and hide variable, simply show and hide the display in the right corner, and that's really all the variables. You could do a lot with variables. You could set it to the answer to a math equation, and you can put variables and multiply with other variables or a fixed number. It's really useful, and the slider is you can use for tweaking any values in your sprite, and it also helps to organize your code just by naming the variables. Next is lists, which is closely related to variables. So when you make a list, just by clicking the button, you'll have a list of your lists. So you'll have a bubble just like that, but you usually don't use this except for using the checkbox, which displays a variable like this. You can tweak its size by clicking on this button, and as you can see, just change its size. And right now the list is empty, so there's nothing in here. But if you right click on this, you can see import, export, and hide. Hide does what it does, it just hides the list. Import, you can import a text file, and it'll make a list from that, and export, it will turn it into a text file. Now, right now it is empty, but we can change that by simply using the add thing to my list. So whatever you put in here, this also includes for inputs, will be put inside of the list, and you can select which list you want if you have multiple. So now when I click on this, as you can see, it is now inside of the list. And then also there's the delete blocks. These simply, you can either delete a certain amount. Just me popping in while I was editing, I realized I made a mistake with that block. It doesn't remove that certain amount, it just removes whatever number item it is that you put in. Just a mistake I made. Back to the video of whatever. Or you can delete every single part in the list. This is very useful if you want to reset things. Next is insert and replace. Insert thing at something of list. What it does is you insert it into a certain part of your list. So let's say I have 4 things in my list and I want to insert, let's say, hello at the 3rd slot of my list. See, as you can see here, it'll pop up and it'll push everything to the side. Now, if you don't want that, if you don't want to push it aside and just want to replace, well, there's something just for that. You can replace item 3 of this whatever list with your new thing. And if I just click on this, it replaced thing with hello in slot 3, just like it says here. Then there's the inputs. If you're storing something inside of your list, you can extract a certain one of them or whatever from inside. So if you just want to, let's say you have something in there, if you want, so you can take like item 1 from your list and that will be the input from here. If you want the item number of the thing or whatever you put in here, it'll give output the number. And then the length is just how many things are inside of the list. There's also a Boolean, so it just checks, does it contain the thing? If it's true, then it's true. If it's false, it's false. Show list and hide list. Simply show the list and hide the list on the display right here. Next is custom blocks. If you want to see more of this will pop up in the top right corner. Just click on that, and that is all. And that is the final episode of Every Single Scratch Block. If you enjoyed this video, just hit the like button, and hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.